have you ever had to cut people out of your life on your journey to becoming, to growing your own business and everything like that?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Like I always mention this one psychopath who I kind of look up to in a little way, Dan Pena, says, show me your friends and I'll show you your future.
Okay.
Like, hang out with cripples, you'll learn how to limp. It's, might not be the most politically correct thing to say, but like I remember as, going through stages of life, people that like, there's the party stage. We're going to go out all the time and, we're going to go out, we're going to go drink and party. And then I met my girlfriend and I was like, I don't want to go out and drink and fucking party anymore. Like, we enjoy each other. Yeah. And my friends were like, oh, giving me shit. Like, okay, I don't need to talk to you anymore. Right. Friends that I had in college who were like, did the college corporate rise the ladder, and when I say like, oh, I'm gonna do this thing online, oh, it's a scam, haha, what the fuck, like, okay, I mean, I understand, I don't need that energy, so I don't really need to talk to you anymore. Like all my I call my entrepreneur friends, I have friends that are all over the world, and like are super positive no matter what I say. I'm like, hey, I want to try this thing, like, fuck yeah, do it. Like, if you're not with that kind of energy, I don't need to be, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. So I want to be around people that are positive, solution-oriented, growth-minded. So yeah, I mean, I've cut a lot of people out.
I've also cut out a lot of people, and I've had a lot of like guilt about it. Like I've had a lot of guilty feelings about it, especially with family members. And I've always had like I always felt it was kind of like a spiritual conundrum. It's like, well, on one hand, we're told to accept everybody as they are and have sympathy and compassion for people, but on the other hand, I need to take care of myself. So for me, it was always like I have chosen to cut people out of my life, but I've always like sort of carried around guilt from it, and especially if it was from family members. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so. I mean, I've got family members. Yeah, I guess cut out. No, just I've never put forth any more effort to speak with them, and they've never put any more. So hey, cool. Yeah. Like, out. But I mean, shit, especially entrepreneurs. Our generation especially, like, I deal in online entrepreneurship. Wasn't a thing. People think it's bullshit. So you're going to get, why are you doing it? I remember like how many teenagers that I know that are making $20,000 a month, whatever, doing Amazon or whatever. Yeah. And their parents are like, you fucking, I'm gonna throw you out. And it's like, then they see the money they're making. It's like, this is real. Like, do you cut those people out? No, cut them out, but
have stricter boundaries with those
how about
people.
that? Take their advice, take their life.
Yeah.
Right?
I always think you should take advice. I've said this on my last podcast too, but I think you should take advice from people that you want to be like. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it makes sense. Like, for example, when I was studying to become, a piano player, I would have certain people, and then I decided I wanted to take that leap of faith to start my own business teaching piano and start trying to perform. I had friends and family who who would be like, ooh, like, you really you shouldn't do that. You should try working for this company, for this school, etc. You're not going to make enough money. You can't rely on that for income, etc., etc. But then I had like friends or professors or whatever who were piano, like performing pianists around the country would be like, no, you got to do this. And it's like, well, who do I want to be? like I'm going to take the advice from the people that I want to be instead of, the people who are in a position that I don't want to be.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, it's not a nice thing to say, but, a lot of people are fucking miserable in their lives. Yeah. And they want you to be miserable. Yeah. And they see you all of a sudden amped up and motivated and doing things, taking action. It's like, who the fuck do you think you are? And then they try to drag you down. It's like,
I always wonder if that's intentional though. Like when people do that shit where they're like, you shouldn't do this. I always wonder if are they actually trying to actively drag you down, or is it really they're just trying to protect themselves?
I think that's what they saw growing up too. That's especially, again, we're talking entrepreneurial. Yeah. It's a whole different ballgame, right? Because it's like, it was always go to school, get a job, blah, blah, blah. Like to start your own business, it's like, what the fuck? Yeah. It's that's scary for a lot of people. They can't see themselves doing it. Maybe they've wanted to, but they never did, right? Yeah. So, I mean, I've had good friends who, I'll put it this way. When I started building my side hustle in my office, everyone fucking laughed. I went to a conference in California, business conference, motivation, and they were like, why conference? Like, what?
Yeah.
But in the entrepreneurial world, it's like that's the best. Like getting around like-minded people that you connect with and network with. Like you're fucking stupid if you don't go to conferences and events. That's where you meet the people.
Yeah. So I also learned this like as I went along. I also learned that sometimes you just have to like keep your mouth shut around people that you know who are going to put you down.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of friends and family, like later on they'd be like, I didn't know you did comedy. And I'm like, yeah, because I didn't tell you, because I didn't trust that you would support me. You know what I mean? People
you don't
like,
have to tell them either.
Like you don't have to like I've learned over the years to, if I don't want to become disappointed or let down by people not supporting me, I started to learn, don't even tell people what you're doing unless you know that they're unless you trust that they're the type of people who will support you. But if you know there's a certain person in your life, like, you know, a relative or a friend that you, for whatever reason, you can't cut off, just don't even tell them your plans. Just like create a mental boundary where you're like, okay, with this person I can only talk about shopping. Like with this person I could only talk about, you know, whatever you guys talk about. I can only talk about this TV show. When it comes to talking about big plans, just don't even talk about it with this person if you already know what's going to happen, you know?
Yep, 100%.
So, you know, I think sometimes the road to success could be lonely, you know what I mean? In that sense. It doesn't have to be lonely in the long term because eventually you'll find your way with people like you were saying, like like-minded people. But sometimes in the beginning phases of, you know, trying to become what you want to be, it could be lonely.